Today's story is called Ice Jam. So I want you to take a moment, think in your mind what that title, Ice Jam, with the exclamation point could mean. And would you take the dark purple question that looks like this? And you remember how we alternate asking questions? There's only one question, one person goes now, and then another person will go the next time. Would you ask and answer that question in your partner? Go.
What do you think? What do you think? I think you mean Ice Jam. Ice is crazy ice. There's crazy ice. And like there's tracks. A lot of ice. And then there's that they're jamming in the ice. I don't like jam. I thought jam because the cherry jam. Oh, the red. Because one of your just like ice. Yeah, I think it's like how ice is jamming into stuff.
One. I've heard some really good ideas. I want a couple volunteers to share their ideas. Susan, would you start us out?
I thought it would be like a traffic jam.
Like a traffic jam. I like how you made that connection. Ice jam, traffic jam. Another idea. Yes?
I think it might be like freezing cold.
Because you know ice is really cold. Certainly could. One more.
I think it's like ice jamming into stuff. Like there's a bunch of ice coming.
Okay.
I don't think it's...
Could be. I like those ideas. Hands down if you have another idea, keep it in your mind. Because remember, with your DRTA, you're always making that guess, that prediction. Now we need to read and see what information we have to see if maybe you're right or maybe we need to revise that prediction. Turn the page, please. Fold it back so you can just see page 1. I'm looking for a table that does that quickly and quietly. Please listen. Grandpa's old green pickup truck splashed and swished down the muddy dirt road on the way to town. With every bump, Jeannie bounced on the seat beside her grandpa. Warm, wet spring smells wandered in through the open window, tickling her nose. Grandpa hummed along with the old songs playing on the radio. Jeannie sighed. Once again, she was forced to ride to town with Grandpa because her mother was too busy to take her. So here it is, she thought, another boring Saturday in my boring life in this boring town. Suddenly, the radio crackled and the music switched to a deep voice. The United States Weather Service warns that the recent unusually warm weather and heavy rains have increased the possibility of ice jams and flooding of rivers and streams throughout Vermont and New Hampshire. Locally, authorities are closely watching the White River near Hartford Village. Residents are advised to use caution when traveling on Route 14. Would you please find the one orange question and ask and answer? So if one person asks the purple question, a different person is asking. Oh, there's two. Great. Choose like your 2 orange questions.
There's like a warning for... Oh wait, which one? Which one? This one. Did you find out? Like, they found out that there's like a storm coming. But how is there ice in the storm? Maybe a hailstorm. Yeah, because hail is icy rain. It's basically just covering bits of locally, authorities are closely watching the weather. What's yours? Residents are advised to use caution for travel. I didn't agree with this because she said that like there might be traffic jams, and when the rail cracks, she was thought it was going to be another more, I think it was a Saturday. Yeah, and that was going to be another boring Saturday. And heavy I never said that she was going to slip on ice. Those examples. I found out that someone was going to town and it started flooding. He was
And one.
what's your name?
You're going to put your orange questions down. Now it's your time to pick up your pencil. I asked you 2 questions on those orange pieces of paper. On your lined piece of paper, would you think of another good question that we could ask about what was on this page or about the title? It has to be on something that we've read so far. You're not going to ask the question out loud, you're just writing it down this time. And of course you're going to use a capital and a question mark at the end. So this is page 1, you put a number 1. Look back at the text if you need to. What else do you want to know here?
What do you wonder? What do you wonder, Lily?
And I want your eyes up here. So as I read this through, I was thinking to myself, well, they're in a pickup truck. They're driving somewhere. They tell us this. And then they get this message that you have to be cautious if you're traveling on Route 14. So my question was, where are they driving? It doesn't tell me what street they're driving. Like, are they close to this Route 14 or is that far away? Do they need to be cautious too or not? If I were going to write that down, I probably would write that down something like, are Grandpa and Jeannie traveling on Route 14? That's what I want to find out as I keep reading. Can somebody give me an example of the question they came up with? Go ahead.
I said, what happened when the radio crackled?
Oh, okay, so you're having them look back and remember what happened? That's not a prediction of what's going to happen in the future, but that's a good summary of what you've read so far. Yes?
I'm wondering what do ice jams like do? Do they do any damage or
Do any damage? Because it does say be careful of ice jams. So like, is that something we need to worry about? Like what damage do they do? I like that question. One more.
where will the ice go when it gets to Route 14?
Oh, what does the ice do when it gets to Route 14? So like, why are we worried about that ice there? Great question. So have in your mind, when we read the next part, you're going to need to come up with another question to ask about what we get for new information. Turn to page 2. Please read this page silently and silently cover it with your hand when you're done. Oh, who could model that for me real quick? Who could model that for me? Susan, would you model that for me? Oh, very nice. Yes, you're just going to quietly cover it with your hand when you're done. Go ahead, read page 2. Would you please take your yellow questions? Ask and answer the yellow questions. Oh, there's 2 of them. One of them is gold. It's a little darker. I know. I was running out of colors. So 2, they're really yellow, not the gold one.
So the yellow.
Yeah, this is the gold one. It's a little different. So just those 2.
Bright yellow.
How does Jenny know about ice jams and the yellow She's like kind of excited or something because she's
She knows the ice because she says the ice jam is really cool. So she
You know what's just important? Go on and look up at our accountable talk and use one of those to reply.
She feels that
And 1. Oh, that wasn't quite as good as the first time. When I get to 1, you should be absolutely silent and looking at me. I heard some people using your accountable talk when you did your questions. You should start doing that now if you haven't. So when one person answers the questions, the other person can look right up at your accountable talk prompts. And, I agree that Jeannie is going to see whatever it is I said, or I disagree that Jeannie is going to see whatever your partner said. Because, or that reminds me of when I was driving down the street and I saw that it was flooded. So you can respond to your partner that way. Give me a thumbs up if you think you can do that. Okay. Would you take a moment to put a number 2 on your lined paper and see if you can come up with another question we could ask about this part. They're driving, she sits up straight, they go around the corner, and she leans back and gasps, "Look at that." What else could you ask? Yep, fold it back. Chunks of ice were piled up to the edge of Route 14. One huge slab was as long as Grandpa's truck and almost as tall. Muddy river water seeped under the ice beneath the wires of the guardrails swirling across the 2-lane highway. Grandpa lifted off his green hat and ruffled his short gray hair. "Oh, glory," he said. Jeannie shivered as goosebumps crept up her arms. She hugged herself close. Her stomach began to feel like it might have lumps of ice in it, too. "Wow," was all she could say. The old pickup splashed up Route 14 to Hartford Village. "Guess we might want to get our business done and get right back home in case they have to close this road," Grandpa said. "What 6th grade thing do you need today?" Jeannie stared at the river beside them. "Oh, poster board." Ice-chilled air pushed its way into the truck. Jeannie shivered and rolled up her window. The 5 and dime buzzed with talk of ice-choked river. "It's going to go. I know it," said the lady running the cash register. She pushed her glasses firmly on her nose. "That ice is going to go fast and take something with it, just like in '59. Would you take the blue questions, the dark blue question?
That's blue. My turn. Because you do that one. Where's the dark blue? It's right there. Oh, but
So you're going to get ready to respond to the talk.
No. Oh, so here, were your predictions correct?
And then this one says, "What do you think ice water could take with it?"
So our mine was really close to correct. Rated, no.
I never said that. I said there was one ice. Of course,
it goes down like a secret.
So if the rain gets the road apart,
So do you feel like that's right? Is that what happens? Do you think that the ice jam, the water could take something else? What else could? Yes.
What is this? Well, it's like in 59.
So that would be the date, the year. So something like that must have happened in 1959. And she's thinking back to it. That's a good question. You could even write that down.
That's what I heard. Maybe it could have been a
Yeah. But that you are absolutely right. So you know what? Is it Cody? Cody asked me a great question. He wanted to know what it meant when the lady at the cash register said that it took something. This was just like take something with it, just like in 59. She's talking about 1959. And what was your question that you came up with? What was she talking about when she said it could take something 59? Yeah, give me a signal if you had that down. Too, I see it.
Oh.
Love it. So sometimes when you come up with a question and you're not sure about something like that, that would be a great question for me to put in there too. Please turn to page 4. Read page 4 and silently cover it with your hand when you're done. Please take a look at your lined piece of paper with the questions that you created. Would you go through and would you put a check mark next to any of them that you have now figured out the answer to? See if there's any. As we read and got more information, you now know the answer to those questions. And now I'm going to ask you to close your packet, and you're not going to be looking back. I'm going to see if you can put these events in the order that they happen. So take your readings, stack them in the middle of your desk, and you're going to hand out to your table this new paper. Directions. Put these events in the order that they happened. Write a number 1 next to the event that occurred first. Write a number 2 next to the event that happened second. And then you keep going. So here are your choices. Jeannie thinks they should get home quickly. Grandpa and Jeannie hear ice and flood warnings on the radio. Jeannie tells Grandpa to stop the truck. Grandpa and Jeannie buy poster board in town. Jeannie keeps another car from being swept away by the ice and water. Jeannie sees the firemen talking.